This is the tutorial behind the scenes. I'm going to start making the tutorial for the game MechRunners. Um, so I'm starting with this little area I've made. It's just a plane and it has the player avatar in it. And all I've added that wasn't in the main menu basically was this ring, a tutorial handler with a script attached, and these controllers that are inside the cockpit, which is stored under the map. And then I've also added controllers to the mech itself, but that part of the mech is disabled. Um, those are there so I can highlight different parts of the controllers um, to be green, such as like whatever button the player needs to press at the moment, basically. So we'll start in the cockpit. So the player will be in cockpit mode, meaning the way I handle that is I have stuff to turn on R, which is stuff to turn on robot is what that means. It's disabled right now. And then under player player stuff cockpit variant is stuff to turn on P for stuff to turn on player basically, and that's enabled right now. So whenever you switch between the two, stuff to turn on P gets disabled and stuff to turn on R gets enabled. So it switches your control scheme over to the other way it works. So that's the gist of it. That's how the player works right now. So the first thing I want to teach the player, I will go ahead and add the tutorial handler, is I want to teach them to move. So I'll open the tutorial handler, and we need to add a public game object for this ring, and we'll just call it ring1, I suppose. And it is green right now. I suppose I'll go ahead and compile it, and I'll add the ring to the script by dragging and dropping it. It's pretty simple here in Unity. Hopefully I don't have to compile too many times. I might try to write more every time instead of compiling to make the video shorter, or I'll go and do it in post. I'll go edit it down. So what I did there is ring 1 is here now, and I just drag and dropped this ring object into there. It has a sphere collider and a rigid body. I've already turned off gravity, so it won't move, and I've made it kinematic, so once again it won't move. I've made the collider a trigger, so it will know when it's collided with. So the first thing you want to do here is add, sorry, I don't know if you can hear my baby in the background. It's alright though. Is I'll add a on trigger enter. Make it a 3D collider other is fine. Make it a void. There we go. So this trigger is technically checking under the tutorial handler. Actually, I think I need to do this somewhere else. I will need to add, I need to make a ring script here actually. Sorry about that lapse of judgment there a little bit. So I already have a ring handler. Oops, I accidentally moved something there. I undid it. It's okay. So I will need a ring handler. I believe I already have one. I don't think so. So this just needs to be a trigger enter script, and then I'll put tutorial in the end there just in case to separate it from any other scripts I might have. So this one's getting created. Then I'll go edit it. And then under the trigger enter, I'll basically do the same thing. So I don't need start or update, I don't think. I can go ahead and get rid of those. And then put in the trigger enter. And then I need to check that this collider is the player. It's the easiest way to do that, I think. There goes compiling again. And I'll do that every time I switch back and forth. So the easiest way I think to do that is to check for the avatar component, because nothing else in the scene should have an avatar component. Well, actually, technically the thing colliding with it would be this mech POV component. So I'll check for, what's the easiest thing? Probably the damage handler here. I think that's the easiest thing to check for. because all this other stuff could be on other things, or the lever script that's not on anything else. So I'll do if other.gameObject dot get component. Let's check for the lever move script. Is not equal to null. There we go. Then I will send. I suppose I will. First of all, I need to change this color, but I need to send something to the tutorial handler. So do a tutorial handler. And then I'll need to say that ring 1 has been collided with. So we'll start that. I think the easiest way is just to make a new method. I guess I'll just do. I would do ring 1 collided, but this should technically start everything else. I'm just trying to think of the most efficient way to do this. I guess I'll do ring 1 collided, it's fine. Ring 1 dot set active. I actually want this to be false now. So that will make it so once I do this race ring script, this is another script, I don't need that right now. If it has a lever move script, the thing that's touched the ring, which will hopefully be mech POV, then I can send tutorial handler dot ring 1. Did I not save it? It is a public void, it should work. Oh, I'm doing it the wrong way, sorry. Tutorial handler dot ring 1 collided. So that will send the message over to the tutorial handler that the ring has been collided, and it'll disable that ring, which is fine by me. So now I need to make it so on start of the tutorial handler, I need to add that back. Public void start. So on start, I need to get a reference to the these controllers here. So the way I want this to work is I'm going to need to send them a reference to the right controller. Then we're going to get the child of that controller, and it's going to be the grip. I guess it's called the bumper here. So we can do it by name here. So we'll do public name object right controller. Sorry, I can't see because of us. That's in the way. Controller, and then we'll do a left controller there. Perfect. So on start, we want to tell the player that they can grab things with the right controller or the left controller's grip. So we'll do right controller dot get child. Well, can I do get child by name? Not a get component, but just get child game objects. I could do that. That would give me an array. But I don't need an array necessarily. Get named child. I could do that. That'd probably be best here. And then the name would be bumper. And then I would like to do dot. Let's see here. It would be the mesh renderer get component. Mesh renderer dot, what is it? Material. Sorry. Material dot. I don't need a dot color. I could do a dot color. I could just do equals, and then I'll add a new one. So we'll need a public material. We'll need a green, and then we'll need a base. Base is already a word. White. Let's call it white. So the white will be the default, and the green will be the new one I want to set it to, so we'll do green. So that should do that on start, and then I want to do the exact same thing to the left controller also, to let them know that they can do either one. Oops, on too many backspaces. So there you go, that should set them both to green as soon as the game loads up, and that is what I want for now. But I will also have to add a Text Mesh Pro here, so I'll have to include it. Include the TM Pro. And it is called a UGUI. That's how I remember it. So it's a Text Mesh Pro UGUI. We'll add that. And then we can change the text of this. And I have not actually added this into the scene yet. So we'll go add these three things in a second here. But first, I want to text mesh pro UGUI dot text equals. We'll just make it say use. Should I call them bumpers or grips? I typically call them grips. Grips to grab objects in the cockpit. Second. And I want to say, I think it's \n. There we go. For a new line, so it'll wrap around. And then I'll say, move the levers to move to the green circle. Pretty simple. Hopefully that should work out. We'll try that out in a second. I don't have my headset connected right now. I'll do that in a second, then I'll probably cut it out in the video. Okay, so there we go. So now in the tutorial handler, it has not updated. Why not? Oh, I think I've been doing this on the wrong one. I've been doing this in the trigger script. Oopsie. That's my bad. Okay. Let's take all this stuff. Is there anything else I need here? I don't think so. Except the tutorial handler. Okay, so we'll take all this, move it back into the correct script. I wrote down the wrong script. That's okay though. Okay, now everything should be good. Just double checking. And it should show up here now. I accidentally put in the wrong script. It's alright though. It doesn't really matter which script that was in technically. Well, it does because I'd be disabling that. I'd be disabling this ring. That wouldn't make any sense at all. Okay, so now we gotta add all the things here. So the right controller will go right there. The left controller will go right here. Technically, I'll do that now so I don't forget. Right controller, we'll call it C for cockpit. So that's the one in the cockpit. And then I will have public game object right controller R for robot. There we go. So we'll do both of those. This should update here in a second. Controller does not exist. Ah, my mistake. I have to update those because now they're not real. Now they are though. Okay. There we go. Left controller for the cockpit goes right there, and the right controller for the cockpit again. And these two, I guess I could set those now. They should be under here. Left controller for the robot, and the right controller for the robot. Oops. Sorry about that. Little Windows pop-up. Then the text I have not made yet. The green and white I will grab here by going there, no name, and then going back here. There's the white. And then the green I have made myself under materials. There's the green. Put the green in right there. So there's this green, which is a little see-through. That's for the ring itself. What is this? Pressure sac. Oh, I didn't move that. Oops. That needs to be part of the cockpit, technically. Good thing I found that. That needs to be right here. Yes, I would like to open the prefab. Where is everything? Why is this down here? That's strange, but it's alright. I'm just editing a little bit here. This needs to belong inside the cockpit somewhere. Let me make sure I don't mess anything up. Buttons. That's the customization menu. That's the window. That's a panel. That's the levers, the periscope. And here's the whole cockpit. We'll make sure this is just a sub part of the cockpit. And we'll go back. That should have fixed this. Oh, well, now, see, when you modify settings, you'll have to fix them again. So set all of these to 0, I guess. Why is that here? That's odd. Oh, it's because this one's not part of it, so what did I do? Oh no, it is. It's under there. Well, why is it all the way down there though? It's a little strange. I'll cut this out though, don't worry. I'll just move it up here manually. Hopefully that doesn't mess anything up in one of the other scenes. I'll go check now actually because I'm worried about that. I'll cut this out. What time is it in the video? 1 second. Wait, let me see. This is 17:10. Okay, so I'll remember to go cut this out. So go to the main menu. Go check the cockpit. Did it move? It did not move. Okay, good. Logically, that should be fine. Then in the prefab, it looks fine. Let me check one last thing. Check the actual prefab. It's good. Okay. Maybe I won't cut that. It's just a little check. It's fine. Let's go back to the tutorial. Okay. What was I doing? Okay, I was adding in the text. So we can just put that, wherever. It doesn't really matter. Doesn't have to be part of anything necessarily. So let's get a Text Mesh Pro here. Why did it do that? That does not need to be there. Oh, it was because I needed to make a canvas first. So we gotta go to UI and make a canvas. Set this to world space. And then it's really big, but that's okay. So it's this whole thing, it's huge. So let's shrink it down as much as possible. And then we will set the position to 0. And then we will find it. See, now it's here. Now it's smaller. Okay. So bring this down. Still a little big. Make it a little smaller. Put it right in front of the player's view. Then add in the text. Text. See, this text is tiny. Make it a lot bigger. It's white, so I don't think we can see it right now. Well, yeah, it's because of the way I have the rendering set up. That's strange. I forget how I fixed this. I believe in the canvas settings. Sorting layer 1. There we go. So now it'll appear in front. Perfect. So this is the new text I have here. It's a little large, but let's go ahead and hit play and see what it looks like in play mode. Hopefully it looks decent. It's going to take a little minute to load here, though. It's alright. So it still says new text. That is because I didn't set it. That's true. I forgot to set it. So I'm going to go here, and we'll drag that right there. So it's giving me a bunch of errors here. These always pop up for me. I'm not really sure how to fix them, because I have things set here. Could be because of the damage on there. Honestly, I think I could just disable this here. Because you're in the tutorial, you shouldn't be taking any damage. I mean, you could technically if you hit yourself with a rocket, but I don't want you to be able to die here. I should also turn that off in there too. Okay, so this is having an issue with, I believe it's the gun script as I've called it. No, it's not. That's alright though. These, I mean, technically the errors, they are bad errors because they're red, but the game runs with them, and it looks bad for me to just ignore them, but it works when I ignore them, and I don't see anything in here that's like actually a concerning thing, because it says it's not object reference is not set to an instance. That means that like one of these things is not set somewhere, but it doesn't look to be that way except for this material. But a box collider doesn't need to have a material because it's invisible. This is the only thing that's not set, and I turned that off, so it's really whatever. But anyway, let's look at what we're actually trying to look at here, which is this text, which, as you can see, it's a little big, so we're going to have to change this to, like, let's do, like, size 12, maybe? Maybe 16. 16 looks pretty good. Let's also center it. There we go. And then it says, move the levers to move into the green circle. That is that's fine by me. Did I just, no, I didn't, sorry. And then you can also see here, these grips are green. So that means use those to grab things. I think that's good for now. Oops. And then if I go up, this circle needs to be moved down a little bit into the ground. Make it a little bigger too. It's right in front of you. You should just be able to go straight into it. That's fine. Okay. Then when you hit the circle, you should be able, yeah, it's collided. It sets it to false. And then after that, let's enable the next ring, I suppose. Before I do that, you would understand that, well, I guess that those can stay green. So after you've collided with the ring, let's change the text to say, use the grips to grab the periscope above you and pull it down. Look into it to control the mech directly. I think that sounds fine. Let's do a little space here. So after you touch the ring, it does this. Keeps those the same color because it lets you know. That's how you grab things. And then I need to check that you have switched to the mech. So the way I'm going to do that is pretty simple. We'll just have a reference to the mech body. And then technically I need to check for this in another instance. I think the best place to do that would just be on update. So we'll start working in update now. So the first thing happens when you collide with the ring. The second thing should happen when the mech body is enabled. Checking for it on update isn't the most efficient way to do it, but I don't want to have to go write a new script under the mech body because I don't want to mess with the player prefab too much. So I'll simply just check for it on update. But the first thing I need to check for on update is if ring1 not enabled dot active equals false. And the reason I'm doing that is obsolete dot active self. Okay. So it wants me to do this instead. So if it's not active, meaning this has ran, then if mech body is active, then I will do what I want to, which is the next thing I want to teach them, I guess, is to how to climb to the next area. So we will do this. First, make these white. Keep in mind these are the ones in the cockpit, so reset those to basically the way they looked before. And then the ones in front of you now, because you have switched to the robot, will be green. But not just the grips, or sorry, bumpers, whatever, I call them grips. Not just the bumpers, but we also need the triggers. It's taking a minute to load here. They are called just trigger. Pretty simple. Trigger. So call them both triggers, and then we need a new UI here. A new text area that will appear in front of you. So let's just steal the one I just made. That's fine by me. It was right. Where was it? This canvas, yes. I guess that's not part of anything. So we'll copy it and we'll paste it. And we'll bring it to us. Okay. So this mech body is a little bigger. Make it a little bigger. It's fine. And then, oh, I think I changed the text size in play mode, so that I messed that up. So I'll change it here. Do the same thing on this one. Set it to 16 and set it to be centered. Okay. And then I moved it up slightly too. So I'll do that there. And I'll do it here too. Okay. So this is the canvas that I want to be attached to the mech. So I'll go into here. We don't need this right now. We don't need that, but we do need this. So it's under here. That's where I put it. And we'll connect it to, I would like it connected to the body. So I'll just put it underneath the rig. So now it's technically disabled because everything there is disabled, but that's okay. That's perfect. That's fine. So I'll need to make a new one. I need to make a new one for the robot. Text mesh pro UGUI, and then we'll call it the robot text. That's fine. Okay. And then I suppose this is fine to stay there on the first one. So then we'll do robot text.text equals, one second, I gotta sneeze. At least I feel like I gotta sneeze. I guess it's not coming. Okay, so we'll set this to um, press the trigger and grips, or rather hold them. Hold the trigger and grip at the same time to bounce. I guess I'll say bounce when you hit the ground. Try bouncing to the next ring. Did I call it a ring? Yeah, I did call it a ring. Or I called it a green circle, but that's fine. Put a little space here. I think that's fair. Then I need another ring. And I'll need to make it on top of something ideally. So let's do some 3D objects. We'll make a little cube. I would like this to be in the middle. I guess that's the center of the world, but that's fine. Need it to be big. Then we need it to have a rigid body. Make it sit still. Sorry, I should have muted. What? I said I had to sneeze. Okay. So there's the cube you're gonna need to climb on top of. I'll make it a little taller. I'm sure you'll be able to bounce out there. Okay. And we'll make ring 2 here. Put it up there. Okay. And then I'll need some targets when you're up there to shoot at. And then I'll make sure I'll record your pressure. So once you've shot, if you'll try to shoot at the targets, and then if you run out of pressure, it'll tell you how to reload the pressure. Okay. I'm thinking ahead. That's fine though. So mech body is this. Check that. Okay, then I need the next ring. I have ring 2 here. I didn't add that either. Good thing I checked that. There we go. Alrighty. We're almost done here. So, public void ring 2 collided. Ring 2 dot set active false. No, don't do that. What's going on? Oh, I don't have a ring 2 yet, that's why. Ring 2. There we go. Okay. And then after you get up there, it will tell you how to shoot, I suppose, is next, right? So let's grab the robot text here. And then it'll tell you how to shoot. Equals press. Hold on, what button is it? I gotta look at my physical controllers here. Press the. Which button is it? I think it's the. Which button goes back? Is it B or A? I think A is the shoot button, B is back. So it's A or X. You sure? I'll test it in a second. Press A on the right controller to shoot your right gun, or X on the left for the left gun. try to hit the targets. And I'll test that in a second. I guess I don't want to go test it. I can just go see what button I set it to. Add the ring too. I don't need to have some targets, which I'll just use these rings again with a different texture. I'm not sure what texture I'll use. I don't have a target texture. It doesn't matter. Okay, so where did I set the gun firing? I believe it's here. Where is it? Sorry, I'm taking a second here to look at where the fire button is. Let me open the script. Left or right, projectile, fire. I guess I'm not calling fire here, am I? I'm calling fire somewhere else. That's alright. I think I got it right. Okay. So the next thing I need to do is show you how to shoot. So that's the buttons. And then I'm not sure what is enabled, what guns are enabled. I guess I'll say, I'll add another line of text here. I would add it in like a minute maybe if you're having trouble. I could wait a minute and then change the text. I'm not sure if that would be the best way to do it or not, though I don't think that would be. I think I'll do a little another line here. To swap weapons, press B to go back to the cockpit. And use the menu on the right, on the left, sorry, on the left. Let me make sure that's not too long. Let me just, I'll just make sure it's not too long here. Because I don't want the text to be like wrapping down and getting in the way. It's going to go into play mode. We'll test it out. That's fine. It's right in front of the player. So then the way I do this manually is I go down here. I go to the player, I grab this XR origin here, and I just move it up until it collides with the periscope here. Hang on, it's not working. Is that part of the damage handler? That's odd, I've never had this happen. What's going on? Very strange. 1 second, let me debug. I've never had that happen. Let me just try it again. You should be able to just do that. Odd. Because there's the collision there. Let me turn off all these things. Stuff cockpit variant. It should be changing you to the other one. I might have to check this in the headset because it's being strange. Huh. Let me try this. I don't know why that would do it. I'll try it though. No, weird. And I gotta disable this again because I don't want that one. Okay, we'll try something different here. Maybe it's not letting you do it because you haven't... I mean, I didn't program that in the game, so I shouldn't be doing that. Mech POV touches the ring, and then it tells you use the grips to grab the periscope above you, pull it down, and pull it down. Look into it to control the mech directly. Yeah. So you should be able to just move your head all the way up there. Why is that not working? This is so weird. iBox. Swap to robot. Why is it not happening? It doesn't help that all these errors are getting in my way. So I can't see the real ones. I periscope swap. Object not set. The iBox. That isn't true though. Line 36. Let's go debug this. Let's see what's going on line 36. Broadcast the method. Fair enough. Why would it not be working? It works in the main menu. I wonder why it's not doing anything. I'm thinking here. I mean, it's possible this is not the best way to do it. I know there's a better way to do that, so I'll go change that now. I'll try to cut this out. This is 42 minutes. So I gotta go find where I was doing that. What script was that? I have a lot of scripts here. Really? I don't do it there? Okay. What about in this one? Script.invoke remote method. Invoke a method with target user with given parameters. I want to do it on all users. Calls the method on every client, including the sender with the given parameters. So it should be doing it. Let's try it this way. Oops, I did not want to click that button. Please don't sign me in. Stop it. Thank you. Alright, let's try this now. I don't know why that would be bugged. That's weird. Weird. Had been working. Sometimes things just don't go as planned, though. That's fine. Alrighty. Let's try this again. Nothing. Still line 36. Ah, that is why the damage handler's there. Why is the damage handler there? Damage handler. unenabled equals false. Well, that should be fine. It isn't false anyway. But it's saying this is the problem. Why would that be the problem, though? That's so weird. Huh. Is it even doing the detected? It's not. That's odd. So it's not calling this. Why not? What? Hold on. This is weird. Let's go back to the main menu and see if it's working there. Because it works everywhere else that I've tried it. Let's try this. Yeah, it worked there. What? What's the difference? What is the difference? Huh. This is odd. What is the difference between these? They're the same thing. Hmm. I think it might be a simple case of it being confused because I added some things. I added these, so it could be confused. We'll try this. I know this sounds crazy, but it could be a case of it being confused on the index of some of these things. So we'll reset all of them. We'll try this. Where was this one? I'm not sure. I don't want to mess anything up. Okay. If that fixes it, that's a little odd. Because I technically just didn't do anything to fix it. Okay. Technically, I did nothing. No, it just didn't like it still. So it's like it thinks this isn't there. I'm not sure I understand. Hmm. I can try this. Public will default away false. So if you're not in the menu, then it'll do that. Else. Um, we'll try that. So that might fix it. We'll try this. No, I didn't actually set it. 1 second. So that was here. Let's say it's in menu. So now it should just ignore that and it should just do the thing. There we go. Okay. Alrighty, let's try this again. Go into scene. Move this. I don't know. Then let's see what it says in here. Yep, it says the correct thing. Okay. Then it should show some text in front of you. It should, at least. Make a POV. Canvas. Why does that say new text? It doesn't say what it's supposed to. Okay, well, let's pretend it does for a second. Move you all the way up here. Congratulations, you've touched the ring. That's probably why. That's because I am not smart. 1 second. Yeah, it says ring when collided, so I need to have a public. Do this. If it's 1, then ring 1. If it's 2, then ring 2. Alright, also, this did not occur. Oops. Why did this not happen? Robot text.text. Did I not set the robot text in this tutorial? I mean, that's likely. Yeah, I didn't set it. Okay, that's fair. Text. Then also move this canvas up for whatever reason. Cool. Now it should work. This might have to be a 2-part video. Not because I'm going to stop, but because it is long. Anyway, alright, let's go test. Manually move the mech. What just happened? Am I dumb? Did I forget something? Speak because I didn't set the number. It's 1. Because the default is 0. This is 2. Okay. Let's try it again, shall we? Okay. Sometimes I forget things, but that's okay. I mean, making a tutorial in a little over an hour is not that bad. I expected it to take a bit. Boom, there's 1 ring. And then we go inside the mech. Please take me there. It says look into the periscope. We look into the periscope manually. And then it says go to the game. There we go. Cool. Hold the trigger and grip at the same time to bounce when you hit the ground. Try bouncing to the next ring. Should move the controllers out of the way. Then there's the next ring up there. You bounce to the next ring. Let's pretend you have done that. There you go. Now it says hold the trigger and grip at the same time to bounce. Huh. Wait, it did this, but it didn't do that. It's because of this. And ring 2 dot active self equals true. We need that ring to be true. And then it'll do it. Let's try it again. I'm going to do a little cheat here. Enable the ring. There we go. So press A on the right to shoot the right. Let's make sure this isn't too much. That's fine. To swap weapons, press B to go to the cockpit and use the menu on the left. And then I need to highlight these buttons. So these buttons are called sorry for the loading. Oh, there we go. Very slow loading. Okay, so oh, it's under there. Okay. So we got A and B. So we need them to press that. This button is the back button. I'm pretty positive. And then this is the shoot button. So we need button B to go green. My baby is yelling, sorry. So copy this. It's the same on both of them. So we're going to do this. We need that on all of them. And then dot get name child. Button B, I believe. No, button A. But you to do it. Button A. So on both controllers, button A. So button A on the left, button A on the right, and then button B on the right controller. I want it to be like red to signal back. So let's make a red here. Let's make a red. I already have a red. That's why I picked red. Okay. Then materials. Red. Perfect. Red. Cool. Okay, so that should set everything there to be red and green. Cool. And then you need to hit the targets with some sort of bullet or rocket. So we're almost done. But I'll finish it off. We'll finish this off. So now I need to have targets. Put those up here. How many targets should I do? Just 2 or 3? What do you think? Maybe like I could do 2. 2. public game objects target 1 and target 2. And then we'll just say if they're disabled, that's it. And then I'll just disable them if they get hit. So now we need to make a another nested if here. Another nested if target1 dot active self. I actually want that to be false, but I'll set it true for now, that's fine. And then change it now, and then target 2 active self is false. So if they're both false, and then I guess I'll go ahead and check if the ring 2 is false also, because you want them to have already climbed up there. Then I guess I'll tell them how to reload after, or I'll tell them to reload now, and then I'll have a separate check for if their pressures reach 0, then I'll tell them to reload then. So, do a robot text saying switch back to the cockpit to reload. I think that's fair enough. And then we'll say get rid of the green because they know how to shoot. Oops, sorry, I punched my microphone. White. Say hi, Carter. I'm just kidding. That's my baby. He's just yelling. Oh, now he's sad. Anyway, so switch back to the cockpit to reload. And then we'll go ahead and set this. Okay. Press the grip and trigger while holding, I guess. Or should I say like while holding the pressure sac, or should I say while hovering over the pressure sac? I guess while hovering over the pressure sac at the top right to fill your pressure gauge. How do you spell gauge? G-A-G-U-G-E? That's too many G's. G-A-G-U-E. Gauge. I don't know, I just use the word meter. There we go. So press the grip and trigger while hovering over the pressure sac at the top to refill your pressure meter. On the left. And then once their pressure is 100, I suppose they win. They just load back to the other one. Is that fair? They just load back the main menu once they've finished it? I think that's fair. Okay. And then if we gotta find the pressure component here. I know it's part of something. It's under, I think it's under the health handler. Correct? Pressure it is. So under the player one avatar, what do I have here? What reference to the player do I have? I have the mech body. We'll just do a direct reference to the health handler. I think I'll just put it here. Public player health handler. Health handler. if health handler dot pressure equals 100. Scene dot load. Why load a scene? We need to add using unity dot scene unity engine dot scene management scene dot load. How do I do this? Scene manager dot load scene 0. Yeah. Yep. Okay. But now I need to make sure they know how to reload if they don't hit both the targets. Because you want to account for that. Because if they use all their ammo or pressure and they hit one or two of, or they hit one of the targets but not the other one, or no targets at all, then they're not going to know how to reload. So I need to add in another scenario here that says the same thing, kind of. So I will say if this ring is inactive, right, that means they've already seen how to shoot. So I'll tell them, I'll do an else if target one dot active self equals true, or sorry, it's not, I can't type or target 2 is true. And ring 2 dot active false. So that's that. And I also need to check the pressure is 0. Okay, you follow? Good. Just I'm gonna, well, I'll do less than or equal to 0 just to cover any other cases there. I guess I'll do greater than here. Greater than or equal to 100, just to check out, dot all my I's and cross all my T's, just to check. So I'll do the same thing here. Just the exact same thing, it doesn't matter. Well, if I'm doing the same thing, then I mean, it's not the same thing, though. It's at a different time, so I think it's fine. I'm gonna move this, actually. Make it a if after this. If this and target 1 equals false, and target 2 dot active self equals false. So this basically will make it so once all this other stuff has been done, this is on update. So if the mech is active and the ring 2 is active, I don't actually want that because then this stuff will never occur. So see, this is why you recheck. So we do want this to happen after this. However, we want all of this to actually occur separately. We want it to be outside of this. Well, it can be inside of this if statement. It just has to be outside of that one. So now it'll go through this. If the mech is active and the ring 2 is active, then do this stuff. And then we can say else. Well, I don't need an else if there, it's fine. So otherwise, yeah, if the ring 2 is not active, that's fine, I'll leave it like that. And then otherwise, if the targets are both active and the ring 2 once again is not active and your pressure is less than 0, then it'll tell you how to reload. So it's either if you hit both targets, then it tells you how to reload, or if your pressure gets to 0, then it tells you how to reload. And then if the targets are both disabled and your pressure is greater than or equal to 100, meaning you have already reloaded, then the tutorial will end. That's fine. I think that's good. All I need to do is make the rings now. So let it compile. Why is it not compiling? Did I not save it? I mean, I definitely saved it. That's odd. Odd. Anyway, we need the health handler, and then we need some targets. Target. Get rid of this one. Add in a target script. This one should be really simple to make. I'll write it in a second, though. Come on. There we go. And we duplicate the target, call it target 2. We take both of them and we put them like over here. Then we separate them. And then I want them both to be red. Just because like that's a better target color, I guess. And then we need target. And then the last thing is I need to write the script that disables them. Pretty simple. If, or sorry, not a public void on trigger enter if other dot, what are bullets? 1 second. Where did I put the bullets? Prefabs. So we got a rocket and we got a machine gun bullet. It is tag bullet, or oh, rockets are also tagged as bullets. Cool. That's perfect. Tag bullet. Dot. This dot false. Do I have to do dot equals true, or can I just do true? I prefer it that way. Okay, that should work. Yeah, that's the tutorial made, I guess. I think that's everything. I don't want to test it because I don't want to plug my headset in. It'll take a minute, so I'll record a separate video of me testing it and then splice it in here. Or maybe we'll do it as like a little thingy. I would also like to just add some more blockers here, so like you have to go this way, and then some invisible walls. So I'll do that off recording. So there's the programming that went into the tutorial. That should be everything, I think. Done in an hour and 14 minutes and 40 seconds. There we go. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.